Michelle. So a wee bit of, this is part 3 of my vloggy chatty type thing. So yeah, so part 2 just kind of finished off there, about to get on to talk about image. I was really cold, so quickly just ran and grabbed some headwear to wear. My scalp is like super sensitive today and really bad. So I decided I'm taking the wig off, and I was just sitting hair free, which is quite good and lovely and fine. However, my eczema's playing up, my skin's bad, so I'm cold, and I thought, I know what I'll do, grab some headwear. This is my Purity headwear Yana. I love it, it's so comfy. Anyway, so what I was going to talk about now was the kind of whole appearance thing. Yeah, so initially I would wear hats. I bought hats, headwear, I had a couple of wigs, and yeah, I was trying to learn to do my makeup, and I guess to look a way that I felt happy enough with Michelle, who I was struggling to deal with who I was inside, and I was struggling with my appearance. That was a big part of what made me question everything about myself all of a sudden. So yeah, it was a pretty rough time, and I'm not going to say it was easy. Like, I'm quite accepting of my hair loss now. I kind of love my bald head. However, you know, it's not easy. It's a tough journey, and I think for me, the big thing is, like, somebody said to me, my friend Suze said, you know, it's okay to grieve the loss of your hair. It's a loss. You can be upset. And you know, it was probably one of the best things MD actually did say to me, because I felt like I shouldn't feel like that. It was total vanity. And sometimes people will say that. Sometimes people have said to me, it's total vanity that you're bothered by it. Most people don't say that. And although people say that, then yes, image was a big thing, and how I physically looked was a big deal to me, and the change. And how you look, what I was finishing off in video 2 saying was, how you look, I don't feel looks are important, and that I don't judge other people in their looks. And you know, if you're a nice person and a good person, then if I like you, no matter what you look like. And if I don't, then I don't. It doesn't matter how you look either. If you went through loads of makeup, no makeup, it doesn't matter. None of that really matters. But for me, what I now think is that kind of trying to make sense of it all, reflecting back on it, I think that it's difficult, because although looks are not everything, and looks don't make you who you are, when you see yourself in a mirror, like, you know, you look in a mirror, you see yourself, your looks aren't who you are. But when I look in a mirror, I see this when I've got makeup on. When I look in a mirror, I see me. And this is, right now if I look in a mirror, this is what I'll see. I wear a lot of makeup all the time now, so this is generally what I see. I am now used to have a look with no makeup on, no nothing, totally bald. That is what I see. And I see that, and I associate, my brain tells me, that's me. When you have any sort of change in physical appearance, for me obviously it was the alopecia that totally changed me. I ended up absolute bald within a few weeks, from a full head of hair and body hair and everything to like nothing within a few weeks. But whether people have another condition or have been in an accident or whatever, anything that alters your physical appearance, you look in a mirror, and if it's happened quickly, it's a shock. It's a total shock. If it happens over a long period of a kind of like a period of time, but you still associate this other image in your head of who you are, it's really odd to look in a mirror and see somebody else looking back, which is how it feels. It actually feels like, that's not me. Who is that? And it is you. And for me, I didn't like how I looked even when I had hair. So for me, who was so down on my appearance, to then look even worse and wish for that bad appearance back, I found it so hard to deal with, because now thinking back on it, I think I just wasn't really happy, and I wasn't really accepting of myself. It wasn't really that it was just my appearance I wasn't happy with. I wasn't happy. I wasn't accepting of myself. And I think when you look in a mirror, what you see physically, looking in a mirror, it's not your person, it's not your soul, it's not who you are, it's just a kind of shell of the look of who's inside. But what you see is what you associate with yourself. So although it isn't your identity per se, it's the kind of physical embodiment of you. I don't know if I'm making sense. Am I making sense? Anyway, yeah, so when you then look at, so you associate that as being part of you, part of your identity, part of who you are. For me, that was Michelle. So then I looked in the mirror and saw this totally other person that I didn't recognise. I didn't recognise the person in the mirror. I wanted to stare and look because I was like, who is that? But then I didn't want to look because I was horrified. I was like, that's not me. It's not. This isn't me. Who is that? Who is that? And you know, it's almost like a loss of identity I felt that I was going through. I didn't know who I was. I felt like I was losing my identity because that wasn't me looking back, and that's the physical representation of me, and it's not anymore. And that was a huge adjustment. I then started going, so who am I? What am I? Yeah, I still believe that looks don't matter and it's what's inside that's important. I've always said that, I've always believed that. But to be thrown into a situation where I have to kind of live what I'm saying, and realise how much the change of appearance is making to me, it was really difficult. It was so hard. I was sad, I was upset, I was angry. I wasn't even angry. I don't think I really got angry. I was angry at myself for being upset. This is honestly, it's totally ridiculous, the whole emotional cycle I went through. I was it's not ridiculous at all. It's ridiculous that I'm saying it. It's ridiculous because I kind of think all your emotions are valid, and a big thing for me, and I think acceptance is very difficult, but I think that it is the key to moving on. It's not an easy place to get to. It's not easy to kind of say accept who you are. I probably look one of the worst as I've ever looked in my life, but do you know what? I'm still happy because I'm the same person now as I was when I was 5 stone lighter and with a full head of hair, and yeah, and I'm happy. In fact, I'm probably more happy now. Funnily, I thought alopecia was the worst thing to ever happen to me, and now, even though I probably look a lot worse than how I used to look, going on society's kind of accepted norm and standards and the rest of it and what's seen as beauty, although I am totally different now, I feel better because I'm happier in myself. I've accepted that I'm Michelle and this is me. This is me with a headscarf, piece of headwear on. If I want to wear my hair, my gorgeous wig, that's me too. If I want to be totally bald, that's me too. So yeah, it's hard kind of feeling that loss of identity. For me, it was so tough, and I think I'm not trying to downplay it because it was so hard. I don't think I could have ever been able to comprehend how much of a challenge that is. It's not just about how you physically look, and when people say, you know, alopecia is just cosmetic, yeah, in a way that it's, alopecia means hair loss, so hair loss, yes. Since I've had alopecia, all of a sudden I've developed eczema, my asthma's much worse, I have more allergies, my joints are sore all the time. I'm not saying this is the alopecia, this is just other stuff going on as well. However, so I've had all that kind of physical stuff to contend with that's going on. And I'm knackered all the time. However, the hair loss in itself, yes, it might just be physical hair loss, but the change in your physical identity, and your physical appearance and how that affects your sense of self and sense of identity, for me, that is a massive, massive thing. And I think that so many people sometimes will, I know on the Alopecia UK page, people have messaged me privately and people have said to me sometimes, I've had alopecia so much longer than you, and you know, or even people that are new to it, how do I feel like I should be accepting too. But do you know what? Why? There's no pressure. If you put pressure in yourself like I did at the start, I would go out and act okay, thinking, act okay, I'll be okay. Yeah, eventually you realise one day you are okay, but in the background at home, people didn't see me when I was really low. People didn't see me lying in my bed crying my eyes out, not wanting to get up and crying at night time and feeling absolutely awful and ugly. And I felt like because I don't know, I felt worthless. Not to do with how I physically looked, but that's what kind of spurred all this kind of a load of emotion running. And like, I was like, who is Michelle? Who am I? Because I didn't know anymore. I felt like losing how I looked in a mirror. I was losing myself. I felt like I am losing myself. I'm losing everything and a touch with reality. It's really odd. And as much as you know deep down in yourself that you know, the world's going to go on, nothing's going to happen, there's a million things worse that could happen to you. For me, I believe that as people, we're not just physical beings. We're not just like robots that walk around there. You know, we have an intellectual side, we've got an emotional side, we have social, we've got a spiritual being. You know, so no matter what your kind of beliefs are, if you have a faith, if you don't have a faith, regardless, you have a spiritual side, you have a kind of emotional and intellectual being as well, and you have this whole social side of yourself, and that's all impacted upon with alopecia. So your physical embodiment, that's an adjustment in itself, but it's not the physical adjustment, because the physical adjustment, physically, with alopecia, physically, I lost my hair. Physically, I get blooming cold because I have no hair. Physically, it's quicker to go for a shower now. But physically, the effects are quite minimal. Yeah, they are. However, how that affected me emotionally, intellectually, socially, spiritually, the impact of that was massive. Now, for those of you who know me, in realsies, for those of you who know me in real life and have known me for a few years, you might know I have other medical conditions ongoing, and they would be seen by most people as far more serious, and people would think I should be more upset about those, and they could understand if I had a hard time with some of the things I've been through in my past health-wise. People would be very understanding, and people have always said, you know, you just take everything in your stride. That's because those conditions are more physically problematic and more physically serious, and I have been physically so bad and unwell that I'm so lucky to be here. However, none of those things have impacted on me the way that alopecia has, emotionally. So although alopecia doesn't have massive physical effects, it's how it impacts on the rest of you that's so difficult. And I think whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, it doesn't matter if you're a boy, a girl, it doesn't matter who you are. It's not about your age or your gender or anything, or your kind of faith. It's not about any of that. It's about how you feel within yourself. And because nobody can know how you feel. You know, like, I don't know how you feel if you've got alopecia. I don't know how you feel because I'm not you. I've not had your life experiences. I have not walked in your shoes, as people say. So I know how it's impacted me, and I know how I have felt at my lowest times. I know what I've been through, and I know that Alopecia UK as a charity have been a massive support and a massive help to me. I know that I have still struggled on and off. I know that sometimes I have cried and wished for my hair back. And my most recent thing is that I had a circle of hair growing here, right here, not eyebrow, not head, right here, just like a wee circle of maybe about 15 hairs, and I could not stop laughing because I was like, what is that? Who has hair here? Who wants a circle right here? Nobody. And then I cried and I got upset. I'm like, why? And then I thought, why am I crying? But you know, it's a roller coaster of emotions. Life is a roller coaster of emotions, and things can be so difficult in life. And I think the most important thing, I'm now at 15 minutes and I am so sorry. This is a really big thing for me though. I have a big thing about, you know, really, I kind of want to help people if I can, and I kind of think if you're going through all of this just now, whether you've had alopecia for a day or for 100 years, you know, if you're going through these kind of really tough times, don't be hard on yourself. Whether you're new to it or whether you've had it forever and a day, don't be tough on yourself, because your emotions are valid, your feelings are valid, and you need to kind of allow yourself to experience them, and that's rubbish. It's really, really rotten, and it's really horrible. And I'm not going to lie and say that's great. You just get upset for a day and then you're fine, like you move on. I'm not saying that, and I'm not trying to play that down, and I'm not saying that you'll just be okay by letting yourself feel things, allowing yourself to experience the hurt and the depression that can go along with it and stuff. It's horrible. So you need to make sure you do have support. If you don't have a good support network at home, if you live in the UK, if you have alopecia or you're affected by alopecia, you can go online. I'm going to pop a link down below to the Alopecia UK charity site. If you're on Facebook, there's an Alopecia UK group which is closed if you're in the United Kingdom, and it's kind of a safe environment. Talk to other people with alopecia, you can share hints, share tips, get advice, just have a talk about how you feel. If you want any of that, I'll put the link down below. That's if you're in the UK. I am sure there are plenty of organisations for support for people with alopecia elsewhere. Likewise, I will pop a few links down below. Actually, go and find links to other organisations that may be beneficial. There's Changing Faces, there are different ones. I'm going to pop a few links below on this video anyway. But, you know, don't be hard on yourself. Nobody is you. And just because somebody might have alopecia and it won't affect them at all. And the other thing people have said to me before, you have no hair and I feel bad to moan because I've only got a couple of patches missing. Why? It doesn't matter if you've got one patch this size or if you have full body loss. You're allowed to be upset because you just are. For me, I think I'd be really upset if my hair started to come back. I would be so worried about going through a second loss, and that's okay too if that happens to you. You know, it's okay to feel all these things and to experience these things. So, you know, look after yourself and your own emotional well-being, because I think what makes you a person is your physical side is a tiny, it's not, I mean, it's a tiny component. It's big in that when you're associating that as who you are, the physical change, it's how that impacts on you emotionally and in your head. That is what is massive, I feel, with alopecia. Because as I said, the physical effects of alopecia, of hair loss, you don't have hair and you can get colder, or like now I've got problems with my eyes from not having eyelashes, my nose runs like crazy, you know, so there's these physical effects, but it's how that physical change affects you mentally and emotionally, for me, I feel is a big thing, and is the thing that is a struggle. So, you know, guys, like, just remember you're the same person inside, and it's not easy to kind of face your demons and look at yourself and have to really look at the person you are. I found that so hard because I was like, oh, who's Michelle? Oh no, I don't want to have to deal with who Michelle is. I don't want to have to accept me and deal with me and think about my issues and everything else, and you know, but you know, I did, and I'm glad I have, and I had so much support along the way. I have had a lot of support. I've been very lucky. So this is part 3 of a video vlog about me, and it's now at almost 20 minutes. I'm so sorry. My plan was 5 to 10 minutes of video and break it all down into sections, but you know, I really hate to think of people giving themselves a hard time or putting pressure on themselves, or people out there struggling. It's not nice, it's horrible. I'm going to pop quite a few links down below that may or may not be of benefit to yourself. So guys, if there's anything you want me to talk about, this is really just kind of about me and alopecia and me, Bald Barbie. And if you want to know why I say that, I say Bald Barbie all the time. Yeah, it was a bit of a joke with a friend, Vicky. I was like, yeah, we are cool. We can be bald Barbies and be beautiful. And, you know, it sounds daft, but you know, the thing is, so everybody in this world has beauty inside and outside. And, you know, we are bombarded with images in the media. This is going to be a whole other video, by the way, of what is beauty? What do you see as beautiful? What I see as beautiful and what you see as beautiful physically might be different. But the truth is that everybody has beauty. We all look different. We are not all, don't get me wrong, I could never be in a big high fashion magazine because I'm overweight. I am overweight. I mean, I'm overweight. I don't have good skin. I'm getting old. I'm getting wrinkly. I'm not like any of the women you would see in a magazine. And that's fine with me. I can still say, you know, it doesn't mean I don't have any beauty. I'm just not conventionally beautiful I'm alternatively beautiful. But everybody does. And the things that I hated about myself, hated that I don't have hair. Now I love that I don't have hair. I kind of love my bald head, honestly, I do. And look, I've got a tattoo on my head. For those of you who know me, you know this. If you don't know me, you know now. Anyway guys, I'm going to go because I'm at 20 minutes. It's far too long to talk to anybody, but I will be back very soon.